Okay, guys. So I'm laying down because I didn't get a lot of sleep and I'm a little exhausted from all of this stuff going on. So, like I said, I I feel better, because like I said, when you like go through whatever I've been going through or whatever you want to call it, and you have to like see, oh my gosh, there's pink on my stupid. See, that's the problem with white. You like, anyways, like I said, it's pretty, it's pink. So, anyways, um, yeah, like I, you have to like see, like if you're ever like if something ever happens to you, or you ever like if somebody turns you in for like you're damaging something, or they think something's wrong, or you have a health problem of some sort, whether it's mental, physical, or emotional, whatever it may be. Like I said, the first time that anything ever like happened, when I was 20 years old, that's when like everything like really kind of like hit the fan with the girls that I used to hang out with, and my family, and like people that I may ever work with or anything like that. 20 was when I literally, after like supposed 3 attempts of suicide, which I can defer a different statement on that. But anyways, like I said, there was that's when I went to see, Janet Waddles or whatever, because that's usually the typical place that you go for like any type of anything like that. But like I said, you know, uh, so I went into Janet Waddles, and Jenny, my now counselor again. She was the woman that I saw. She was the counselor slash, like kind of like nurse ish. She's not a nurse, but she's a counselor. So, some things went on. I was, given what the people that were around me, or that were in my life, or were in my life, or were still, like, a part of my life, kind of, because it was only a few years after high school, and they were still like, I didn't really talk to them that much, but they were still like in my life, and they're not in my life anymore. Like, they're not allowed near me at all, like not near my home, my car, or me ever. And the only reason that they're like semi seen anywhere near me is because I have a sister-in-law, like I said, that is like still associates with them, and they're like best friends. They like, or whatever, they're just girls or whatever. So like I said, that's why, like, if you ever see me, you might like feel like that I, or ask that I talk to them, or if I talk to them. But I don't even associate myself. They don't even exist in my world. So anyways, like I said, so I went in and I talked to the counselor, and all that stuff. And I wasn't, when I first like I knew what was going on, and then when I sat down in front of her, it was very weird. Like, I felt very pressured when I was in front of her. I felt like she was, she was very like, just she seemed just very different, or whatever. So I talked to her, and then I got, like I said, I was really upset, and due to the things that were occurring at the time in the thing, in the little facility that they had or whatever, because they moved, they're not at the same facility. I ended up, having to go to the hospital and be checked out. And that's when I was later diagnosed, or the doctors tried to diagnose me with, they said it was bipolar or whatever. It's a bipolar is an illness, or a mental state in which that you have, there's a manic part, and then there's a depressive part, and then there's like a mixed part where you can have like a little bit of both or whatever. So it's when typically a normal human being has like a stable line, like in an emotional state of like ups and downs, like when you're really happy, or when you're really sad, or when you get sad or whatever. Like if somebody like bothers you, you get sad. So typically there's like this line where everybody has, where it's stable, where it goes like, it'll rise and it'll fall, a little bit, but it won't drop like dramatically, to where like if your body, like if you're bipolar, it says that, you can either, if you're in a manic bipolar, then you can be like extremely, extremely happy, which typically as a like, if you look at me as a child, I was always a very giddy person. I was always cheerful. I was always, ecstatic for things. And so my state is a little bit higher than normal. And my, I don't really know if the depressive part is really like lower. It's like pretty normal. But like I said, so because of what had happened in my life, they diagnosed me with bipolar to kind of like give it just kind of like some type of, because they couldn't figure out probably exactly what it was that caused whatever had gone on in my life. And so they call it bipolar, where it's like they say that, like, I drop really below the line, like of depressiveness. Like when you get really, really, really sad, you can at some times start to like have like suicidal thoughts. You can start to think about like, hurting other people, or just not being in a healthy state when you, like, typically that a normal body goes through when you get sad. Like if your mom passes away or somebody gets into an accident and you get sad. So anyways, that's bipolar. Bipolar is where you raise like unhealthily above or below your normal state of emotional like functioning. So anyways, so I talked to her. I ended up, I went to the hospital. I was checked out. They diagnosed me bipolar. I've been throughout the last 13-ish years of me going to doctors and seeing what's going on and blah, 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 blah. They've switched back and forth between bipolar 1, bipolar 2. Bipolar 1 is manic. Bipolar 2 is depressive, and then bipolar mixed is where you have a little bit of both. And so, like I said, because of all the crap that's been going on, and because of, like, I literally, like, when I was homeless, and I don't really, like, want to mention it anymore because I've talked about it and I mentioned it, and I don't know if you guys even really care or whatever, but I've tried to tell you about it just so you know. Like I said, I was homeless 3 times in my life. When I was 18, when I was around 20-ish, I was homeless for 3 months. The first time was for about 2 weeks. And then this last time, the third time that I was homeless, I was out for at least 12 months to 15 months, which I don't know if you count the last few months because I was getting back into the home that I'm in now. Anyway, so like I said, during that time, I literally I strengthened everything in me, like all of my like endurance, my my mental state. I literally wasn't on meds for a whole year. I was, out just surviving and stuff because, at the time, given whatever was going on, I had to wait for either the the housing authority to put me in like an apartment or something like that. So like anyways, yeah, it was just like I said, it was not the funnest thing because of the things that I had gone through, and like just feeling that I was alone and that I had no one, and that not even the police would even like how rude they were, and that I was like literally being like even by random like girls that I didn't even know, some psychopathic criminals, like gangbangers and stuff, trying to like bring me into their home, like, oh, blah, 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 and trying to, do certain things. Like a lot of stuff went on while I was out there, and I dealt with it the way that I did. And like I said, when I got back into my home, into this apartment, and the first few days that I was here, it was coming back into my family, like my mom, my dad, my, my brother, and both my brothers and my in-laws, and my niece and nephews and stuff. And given the state and the things that I was going through, it really it wasn't that much, but knowing what was happening with my family and stuff like that, and friends, or whatever I used to call friends, they the things happened in this apartment that happened. And like I said, I am hopefully soon I can either go find a little job or something to like help my dad get the doors so that we can have those properly rehung so that they are correctly and legally, like those are safe and they're not going to do anything and blah, 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 blah. But like I said, so what I did is when I went up for my treatment plan, which she didn't let me know that I had a treatment plan. Usually she tells me, she's like, oh, they tell me in advance, on this date, we're going to be doing our treatment plan and reassessing everything or whatever. And so she asked me, she's like, she asked the questions that she asks, and she says, oh, blah, 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 do you feel that, you need your medication? And I told her, I said, I don't feel that I need medication, and that I feel, due to reasons that when needed to be divulged, I will let you know certain things. But like I said, so that's what I did today. I went, and I thought I'd go a little bit more in depth with what's been going on. I went and saw the temporary doctor right now, and she was a little rude. I don't really like her. I'm not really a big doctor and health fan because they tend to think that they know everything and that they can dictate your life and blah, 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 blah. But, I let her know, what was going on and how I felt. And I answered, she talked to me and I talked to her. And, it is what it is. And that's what happened. And so I'm laying down because I'm like, I'm tired. And I'm just like, I need to rest a little bit. And then, when I get things like taken care of and stuff like that, I will inform you guys later on like what's going on, because she sat there and she's like, well, I do think you need your medication, and I do think that you need to see a doctor in another month, and so blah 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 blah. And I sat there and I was like, okay. And she just I let her know that okay, if you think that's when we'll see what happens. And so anyways, so I just want to say a shout out to just anyone that watches or comes upon my channel, just stumbles upon it and like, oh, I just was looking something up and found the channel. But like I said, so guys, my videos if you like them, and subscribe to my channel, because like I told you, I'm not really going to be leaving YouTube anytime soon. I'm going to continue to make videos, and like I said, but I'm going to let you guys go. I will talk to you a little bit later, and I hope that you guys have a great, what is today? Today is Monday, so it's the starting of the week. So you guys have a good time at work, and if I see you around, say hi, or yeah, I'll see you guys later. Oh, and my hair, like I said, it's like I said, you can see the blonde and stuff. It looks a lot better, but I'm working on getting it to the way that I want it. But like I said, I'm going to dye this part probably in the next couple of days and get this looking the way that it should. So I will talk to you guys mañana.